I was led astray the day you walked away. You were the clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are not reading this incorrectly. Bud Light's marketing leadership, get the fuck out of here. Bud Light's marketing leadership undergoes shakeup after Dylan Mulvaney controversy. This is the news that is making its rounds. Tim Pool has covered this. A couple other people have covered this. Alyssa Heinerscheid. Heinerscheid. It should be Heinerscheid. That's a much cooler lesson. Heinerscheid. Yeah, Heinerscheid works. Heinerscheid. Alyssa Heinerscheid. Okay. Who has led the brand since June, takes leave of absence and is replaced by Budweiser Global Marketing VP Todd Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, all those people that say that conservative boycotts don't work, and no one listens to conservatives, no one gives a shit about conservatives. Well, here's the thing. Conservatives give up way too easy and don't understand the power that they have in certain situations. Now, admittedly, if we're talking about like Dove soap, okay, they come out with an LGBTQ ad. There's not really much that we're going to be able to do about that, but this is beer, okay? This is our domain. And they came out and they're like, okay, well, let's make fun of all the working class people, and let's have one of our spokesmen be somebody that is completely disconnected from the average American and their way of thinking. And the result has been absolutely disastrous on every level. And what I wanted to actually show was this LOL Crybaby. So I don't know if they still have this up, but this is what was going around. So I'm 95% 95% sure these are fake. But this is what's going around on TikTok. This has 1 million views. And it's being promoted, on Clown World. It's being promoted around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, understand the damage that this woman has done is incalculable, because you look at it and you're like, 5 billion. Okay, 5 billion is a lot. 7 billion is a lot. 10 billion is a lot. But in business, there's something that's actually more valuable than money, and that is your reputation, because your reputation determines if people are going to invest. Like, for example, if Apple has a little bit of a dip, nobody really sweats it because it's Apple. They're like, it's Apple. Everyone knows it's Apple. Their reputation speaks for itself. But when you have a brand that demonstrates the utter disregard for their clientele and goes out of their way to say, we want to use Dylan Mulvaney, this woman face, algorithmically created, narcissistic prima donna, person, that's not going to be good. I would never, ever recommend that for a brand. Never get in bed with the LGBT. And there's a reason for it. It's not because you can't support the LGBT. But here's the problem. People in the LGBT community, especially online, are mentally ill and they are bullies. They are the most vicious people that I've ever seen. And I've seen Star Wars fans going at each other over disagreements between the prequels and the original trilogy. I've seen some shit. I've seen some Order 66s online. But the point is that I have never seen the level of cruelty and rage and hate that I see from the transgender community online. It is unbelievable to me. Now, people who watch my content know I am a mirror. So if somebody comes before me and they're nice and they're respectful and they present their point well, I will do the same in kind. But sort of like firing the Death Star at a gigantic mirror, what I do is I bounce it right back. And sometimes add a little of my own juice in there, and sometimes I don't know my own strength. The point is, I don't come after people that don't do me any harm and are just trying to go about living their life. It's why I've made it very clear. It's like people talk about the LGBT community. There is no LGBT community. There's the LGB community. Because no one really has a problem with lesbians. Lesbians are like, you know what? I'm attracted to women. I'm not really, looking for a guy. Okay, no problem. Hey, you do you. And in fact, I very much admire your adult entertainment. Very beautiful, tasteful stuff. Bisexuals, no one gives a shit. Gays, there's a little bit of a thing with gays because gays kind of bother heterosexual men a little bit. Not because they're insecure. No, it's just, I mean, I'll be honest. It's sort of like the Michael Scott thing. I don't know how you do that to another dude. It's like, I look at that and I'm like, gross. Fucking gross. But at the same time, I would never be like, wow, you like to put things in other men's butts, so therefore you shouldn't have rights. And I'm now going to. It's like, no. It's like, okay, as long as you're not kissing another guy in front of me and shoving it into my face, no pun intended, I really don't care. It's like, it doesn't matter to me. I have more important things to worry about. So it's not the L's, it's not the G's, it's not the B's, it is the T's. Because the T's are doing a couple things all at once that are just malevolent and evil. The T's are trying to erase basic biology. The T's are coming after children. And the T's are going after institutions that should have nothing to do with politics. Pretty simply put. Anheuser-Busch InBev has changed marketing leadership for Bud Light in the wake of controversy over the brand sending a can. It's more than just sending a can. They sent a whole promotional thing. They became a brand ambassador, sending a can to transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney with his face on it. Excuse me. Alyssa Heinerscheid, marketing VP for the brand since June 2022, has taken a leave of absence, the brewery confirmed, and will be replaced by Tom Allen, who was most recently global marketing VP for Budweiser. Get na, hey, goodbye, and don't ever put women in charge of your company. And I mean that half joking, but half serious, because it's like, there are women who are incredibly competent, incredibly capable, incredibly talented. But it just seems like corporations in Hollywood and the media and politicians choose the worst women to do the job. Like Kathleen Kennedy. No man could have ruined Star Wars in that short a period of time as efficiently as that. And then after ruining it, double down and bring that character Rey back, and bring allegedly Finn back, and maybe Poe Dameron. Bring back the characters that nobody liked and double down on it. I mean, yikes, yikes! That is the stubbornness of a woman for you. He's taking a leave of absence. Heiderscheid did not immediately respond to an email requesting comment. Yeah, what is she going to say? I fucked up. The brewer has also streamlined its marketing function to reduce layers so that our most senior marketers are more closely connected to every aspect of our brand's activity. A company spokesman said in a content, adding that these steps will help us maintain focus on the things we do best, brewing great beer for all our consumers, while always making a positive impact in our communities and our country. Okay, well, you know what? They didn't apologize, but this is huge. This is absolutely huge. It is. Because what did I say? For a company to do an apology, they had to admit that they were wrong, they had to apologize, and then they had to have some resolution. Now, in the resolution here, if this is to be taken true, they have acknowledged what they did was wrong. They have taken steps. Like, their apology is not like, I'm sorry. But I mean, you read this and it's sort of like, yeah, we're kind of like removing layers between people so that we can essentially have a better, closer oversight on our marketing team. I mean, if that's not an apology, I don't know what is. But you know, they needed to come out and apologize. The statement noted that we communicated some next steps with our internal team and wholesale partners, adding that we made it clear that the safety and welfare of our employees and our partners is our top priority. Oof. Bud Light erupted into controversy after Mulvaney showed off a Bud Light can with his face on it. April 1st Instagram post striking a nerve amongst conservatives, including musicians. It's not just conservatives, libertarians, independents. Travis Tritt, Kid Rock. The controversy appears to have impacted sales. The Bud Light case is down 10.7% for a week. Ended April 8th, according to the Beer Business Daily. Heinerscheid was dragged into the controversy when remarks she had made about changing Bud Light's marketing in a podcast surfaced in news reports about the Mulvaney post. In the podcast, she was recorded. Recorded before the controversy. She denounced Bud Light's previous marketing as fratty and out of touch, and suggested the brand could use more inclusivity, which is just absolute poison buzzword bullshit. According to the statement from City Distributors, a Topeka, Kansas-based Anheuser-Busch distributor, the custom can decision circumvented the proper approval channels. I don't know. Anheuser-Busch was silent on the matter for 2 weeks before issuing a statement from CEO Brandon Whitworth, who wrote that we never intended to be part... okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is tremendous. That is absolutely tremendous. That is huge. Do you understand? By simply taking a couple steps to your left or right and picking up a different brand of beer, you have helped to make this change. And people are going to be celebrating this, and they're going to be drinking their Coors and drinking their Miller Lite. And this is incredible. I mean, legitimately incredible. You guys help make actual substantial changes. Now, they don't say that she's fired, but that would be another good step. Because you don't want her, I mean, basically they did. They're like, she's taking a leave of absence. She's basically collecting her thoughts and then she's going to resign, most likely. So, goddamn. Woo! Well, you know what? Here I have a margarita with lime juice and agave nectar. This is delicious. I'm going to propose a toast to sticking to your principles and to not backing down, even when people on your own side tell you to. and for taking a stand for things you care about, even when the media and people on Twitter and a whole bunch of other people come after you, calling you crybabies, calling you man babies, calling you pathetic, calling you phobic, and all the other names. Here's to all of you who stood up, said, no, I'm going to buy another beer. I'm not going to be part of this. I'm going to oppose this. Here's to you. That is tremendous. That is absolutely tremendous news. Unbelievable.
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Trump. It's an honor to meet you. I was wondering what you would say to President Obama.
You're fired.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a ride. I mean, it really has. You think about it. You think about what we've been through. I mean, not talking like, oh, we've been through the war, but no. I mean, you really think about it. You think about what has been said. You think about all the shit that's been, I mean, think about it. Yeah. We had, we had this where Bud Light's still getting sued, by the way. And everybody's just still getting sued. Let's see. The other thing was their commercial. That was fun. Oh, poor Don Jr. And then this, oh man, this right here. Where this conservative grifter, this asshole, God, that was hilarious. I mean, it's been a wild ride. Joe Rogan's whole thing on it. They lost $7 billion. I mean, there's just been a lot of content here because, well, I mean, let's face it, they basically insulted millions of Americans and embraced this degenerate ideology that is just absolutely foul. And, if you want to support that, that's on you, but a corporation shouldn't be funding it. They shouldn't be funding the corrosion of our society in that way. Because that's essentially what Dylan Mulvaney is. Tim Pool is right. Dylan Mulvaney is the product of algorithmic manipulation. That's what it is. For clicks and views and attention, the algorithm kept feeding people this stuff over and over and over and radicalized them to this degree. So you have people like her who go, well, we've had Bud Light, but it's too fatty, it's too toxic, too masculine. We need inclusivity. No, you don't. You never need inclusivity. As a brand, as a marketing, you never need inclusivity. That's never what you need. That's never the solution to slumping sales. It's not because you need, like, quote-unquote inclusivity. You need to grow your market. I mean, I guess you could call it inclusivity, but that's not the proper term. The proper term is what we need is expansion and growth. Expansion and growth means going into other markets. Inclusivity, you are going to retract the market because you are going to get people like this who have an abnormally large mouth, and they're going to open that mouth and do terrible things with that mouth. Like talk and drive you into the ground $7 billion. I mean, criminy. That's a fortune. But ladies and gentlemen, whatever else they may say, you goddamn did it. So take pride in that. Have a drink. Put your feet up. It's not over. No, it's not over yet. We're not calling it a day. We're taking a victory. Okay? We're taking a victory. We're putting our feet up. Doesn't mean to go out and buy, Bud Light. Doesn't mean to go, buy a couple, things. This could be them just trying to throw it off. If they fire her and it's official that she's gone and the marketing comes out and it's much better and they work to make amends, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.